All right, let's talk about something we all go through but almost always get wrong. I'm talking about the quiet periods. You know, those moments when the buzz just fades and everything seems to slow down. Today, we're going to flip the script on those times and see them not as something to just get through, but as a secret source of incredible power. I mean, think about it for a second. A project at work that was all consuming suddenly loses steam. Or maybe a market that was on fire starts to cool off. That initial buzz, that excitement, it's just gone. And what's the first feeling that usually creeps in? It's anxiety, right? A little bit of panic, the sense that something's wrong and we need to scramble to find the next big thing. But what if that whole feeling is just based on a huge misunderstanding of what's actually happening?
And that's, right there, is the big mistake. When the excitement dies down, our default reaction is to check out. We start waiting for some kind of sign, for someone else to make a move, or we just get bored and look for a distraction somewhere else. We basically put ourselves on pause, treating the quiet like it's a problem we need to fix, instead of what it really is, an opportunity we need to grab. So here's the core idea for today. These quiet periods, they aren't empty space. They're not a void. They are preparatory. In literally every important cycle, whether it's in your career, your finances, your personal growth, the most critical work gets done when nobody's watching. This isn't downtime, it's build time.
This comparison just frames the choice perfectly. On one side, you've got the waiting room mindset. And honestly, this is where most of us end up. We're just sitting there, passively waiting. All our effort is on pause. We're just waiting for our number to be called by some external event. But the powerful alternative, that's the workshop mindset. In the workshop, you're not waiting, you're actively building. You're forming habits, you're going deeper, and really understanding your stuff. One is about feeling helpless. The other is about taking control.
And this quote just brilliantly sums up what's going on. Hype and noise, they'll always pull in a crowd. But it's a fickle audience, you know? They're just there for the show. Silence, on the other hand, does something incredible. It acts like a filter. When things get quiet, all the tourists and trend chasers get bored and leave. And who's left? The people with real intention, the builders. So what are we actually building in this workshop? Well, we're building the stuff that actually matters in the long run. We're forging stronger habits that are going to carry you through any cycle, not just the exciting ones. We're getting a much deeper understanding of our craft or the market. You're laying down these resilient foundations that won't crumble under pressure. And maybe the most important thing of all, the quiet reveals your real motivation. Are you here to grow, or are you just here to react? The quiet gives you the answer, crystal clear. This chart makes it so obvious what powers that kind of progress. Look, enthusiasm is a total roller coaster, right? It shoots up during the hype and then completely tanks when things get quiet. But discipline and consistency, they're the steady forces that just cut right through all that noise. Being in the workshop isn't about feeling hyped up every single day. No way. It's about the quiet, steady work that compounds while everyone else is off chasing the next shiny object. Okay, so the big question is, what do you do with this? Here's a super simple game plan. First, the very next time things feel slow, don't see it as a signal to stop. See it as a signal to focus. Double down. Second, make a conscious choice to rely on discipline, not the fleeting feeling of enthusiasm. And third, value that steady rhythm of consistency way more than the frantic rush of speed. That's your action plan. That's how you stay in the workshop. You know, ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple truth. The work you put in during the quiet times absolutely determines where you'll end up when things get crazy again. Momentum isn't magic. It always, always favors the people who are prepared. By the time the next wave of opportunity shows up, it's already too late to start getting ready. The winners of that next phase are being decided right now, in the quiet. And that leaves us with one last really critical question to ask ourselves. Because the cycles will always turn. Momentum will come back. The only real question is, where are you going to be when it does? Will you be sitting in the waiting room, totally caught off guard, scrambling to play catch-up? Or will you be walking out of your workshop, ready, focused, and built for whatever comes next? That choice is up to you.